I would say to the point about pharmacists taking on a bigger role, the answer to that question is yes. I mean, I don't think pharmacists for very much longer are going to be able to, earn the types of compensation that they typically earn checking prescriptions behind the counter. I just, it's not going to happen long term. So yeah, I think pharmacists are going to have to step up to the plate and take on more responsibilities as we go forward. I think, will jobs be available? Yeah, but not in the same way that they are today. So to the point that I was making earlier, I think pharmacists that get involved in the pharmacogenomics and the specialty things and that kind of thing are going to have great futures. But if you want to be a retail pharmacist, probably not so much. As we go forward, it's just not cost effective.
Okay, so you work in pharmacy benefit management, that is
Right.
pretty cost effective. So do you see people that have like hypertension? Do you see them? It's more like instead of going to a Walgreens once a month, just getting the prescriptions mailed. Do you think that will be more like popular or?
Well, but even within PBMs, automation is making the need for pharmacists in a lot of ways not as big anymore, right? So that's where the clinical things come into play a lot more. And you have to think a lot more, you have to be responsible for a lot more, you have to interact with patients a lot more, prescribers a lot more, even the clients in the PBMs, to say, hey, we did this for this client and the outcomes are really good and we were able to save them so much money. I think it would work for your client as well. I mean, yeah. Engagement is going to be huge.
Is there anything you think we're interested in or anything you would like to tell any currently pharmacy students?
I think we covered
I know.
a lot of it. I mean, I think the biggest thing I could offer you, and I touched on this earlier, is look for opportunities to learn skills above and beyond just the drugs and the therapies and those kind of things, because a lot of opportunities that are going to be available to you or a lot of jobs that you're going to get are going to require other skills. So anytime you have an opportunity to kind of spread your wings and learn something new, take advantage of it. It will help you. Absolutely, it will help you.
And what pharmacy school did you go to? Yeah.
I went to Campbell University in North Carolina. It's about 30 miles from Raleigh. It's a private school.
Definitely heard of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think
Unless anybody else has any questions, I just want to thank you. I mean, you brought a couple things to my attention that I hadn't really considered, especially about retail. I mean, for so long, I guess it makes sense. It's not a sustainable thing to think about. And I wasn't set on retail or anything, but it's just like, wow, you step back and look at what is going on.
It's a job, but think about it. In 20 years, do you really think it's going to be there?
Right. So you're kind of scaring me because I knew that what you have to do, or they're trying to push you to do, a residency, and pretty much retail almost is the only thing you don't have to have a residency for.
Right.
So would you strongly encourage us to get a residency or to do that?
Well, I tell you, I think to your point, and I talked about this a little bit before, the education was very clinically oriented, and my school as well really said, oh, you want to do a residency, da 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 da. But then, like I said, the reality of what was available didn't necessarily lend itself to that. I did it. The reason I did it was because I wanted my options to always be open to me. In other words, I didn't want to want a job and not be qualified for it because I didn't do a residency. So it was just something that I felt like, it'll make me a much more well-rounded candidate when it's an dud to do it. And so that's why I did it. So I think if you can, and it's something that you're interested in anyway, it's probably worthwhile to look at it. It'll never hurt you.
Right.
It'll never hurt you.
I know, all my student loans, though, I'm scared to let them keep
I know,
going.
but that's the other reason I did it right after pharmacy school, because it's very hard to start getting out there and making money, and you start buying houses and cars and blah, blah, blah.